Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Wands. You're not somebody that shies away from a fight. You don't like it. You don't seek out conflict, but you don't avoid it either. Okay? You are not someone who will shy away or shrink away or crumble under the pressure of something, right? To me, this is a force that is fighting back. This is a force that is not letting the world just squeeze us and beat us to a pulp and just kind of like deflate us, right? Make us smaller. This is an energy that is pushing back against the universe, pushing back against the world, pushing back against our own thoughts, our own doubts, our own perhaps inertia, okay? You're not avoiding conflict, you're not seeking out conflict, but if it's there and it needs to be addressed, you understand the right amount of force to use, right? This is about dynamics. This is about being impeccable, right? Using your energy wisely, avoiding any unnecessary conflicts, taking care of business, right? As it needs to be taken care of. Yeah. We're not out there looking for a fight. Someone walks into a room, you can tell that they're looking to sort of to tussle with somebody. You're able to respond to life in a way that is appropriate. It is part of your impeccability. We need to put this card into some context and see what is going on with you. Manifestation requires this kind of energetic consistency. Your ability to use the gas pedal, right, as it needs to be used. Using your energy wisely, yeah. And there we have that higher wisdom and discernment. You know when to fight and when to kind of not. You know when to sort of bare your teeth and keep that stiff upper lip and when to let things go. Higher wisdom and discernment coming in with the Knight of Swords. 10 of Pentacles. Princess of Swords. 3 of Wands. Yes, very good. And the 6 of Swords. See, we have a lot of air energy here, so this is about conflicts in your environment interpersonally, in terms of your relationships, the way that you are interacting with people, the way you're relating with other people in your life right now. Okay? We're trying to do this fire to earth manifestation, right? Fire to earth, your virtue, and what your goals are, let's say. Okay? And on the horizontal plane, we're dealing with a lot of or maybe one particular conflict, and we're using the right dynamics. We understand how to engage with other people in our lives in a way that's going to bring about the desired ending, right? The conclusion, the harmony. You're somebody who is perhaps, you're like a manager or a boss or like a mediator, or like you're somebody that could come in with a lot of power, but with gentleness also, and like gets things done, restores the balance. This now, 6 of Swords, this is what it's all about. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, right? Things are functioning beautifully because you came in with your strength, your higher wisdom and discernment, and you are a virtuous person. People can trust you. Yeah, people can trust you. Path of the Serpent, we've got the Empress. Yeah, see, you're the Empress. And the Empress knows tough love. The Empress knows how to get things done in a way that is gentle, but also is not taking any, right? Bovine excrement, right? Here we have the Lust card or Strength card. And strength, it's a very strong Leo energy in your life right now. because I feel like this is you with your ability to show your strength, sometimes by not showing your strength. Sometimes it's the person in the room that doesn't really talk a lot. That's the person that really has the power and the strength, right? Look for the one in the busy room. Look for the person who's not talking. They're the ones that are probably running the show, you know? So sometimes it's not about how loud we can be or how much force we can display. Sometimes it's about the reservation of that. I am in control of myself even when the world is in chaos. You're somebody that I would want next to me if there was ever a crisis or an emergency, because I feel like you can stay cool and calm and collected under pressure, but also someone that can get things done. You know, a lot of people can stay cool under pressure. It's because they're frozen, right? Other people, they don't stay so cool. They're just kind of running around frantically. I think you are this very balanced and a very formidable presence in your life right now. Yeah, let's keep going. We have a couple more cards to lay out. There is that Eon card, judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire, and getting through that Seven of Pentacles, overcoming the challenge, right? Fire to earth. Fire to earth. So I feel like this is your time to shine. I feel like it's your time to step in and fix something. Step in and I don't know, get everybody working together, get everything back on track, reestablish the flow, right? Reestablish the harmony and the beauty of the dynamics, the interpersonal dynamics. Okay, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Dwight K. Schrute right on top. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. We are not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see some good major arcana over here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't have any over here. Over here, this is about what you're doing, the way you're trying to get yourself involved in the situation. Over here is kind of these more spiritual archetypes. These are the more, these are the kind of the prominent energies that you're embodying right now. I think you are this empress. I think that you are also this passionate, strong, and courageous strength card, this Leo energy. And it really is taking you through this divine doorway. This is a doorway of fire that's leading to, I believe, kind of a boost in a way. It feels like it's leading to the initiation of the growth again, because it's kind of like, you know, this card looks like nothing's happening. It's the Seven of Pentacles, right? It's not the best card. But this is kind of like saying we're getting involved and we're kickstarting something. We're getting something moving again, because maybe it's implying, excuse me, that something has stalled out, that something is, the progress is not there. So what you're doing is you're coming in and you're understanding how to use your energy, your power, and your push to get things going again. You're applying your fire to that earth energy, and that's going to get things moving again. Okay? So I think this is really your moment. It's your time to shine here, because I think you're the only one that can fix this, that can solve this problem. Yeah. So anyway, we've got our majors. We got fire and fire. We don't have any water. We've got air, air, air. We've got a little bit of earth. We don't have any water because it's not the time for you to be passive necessarily, right? We've got fire and air and the earth. But the fire and air is very active. Okay, it's kind of saying like we're inspired by something. We believe that something is right and we're acting on it. We're speaking our mind. We're making decisions in this proactive way. We're not sitting back and just waiting to see what happens. You're not just sitting back and observing necessarily. You did that already with the princess. of Swords in the background here. I think that this is a curiosity. This is when we are sort of, we're looking around the room and we're trying to just take it all in. Maybe this was a time where you were looking for something to do, you know, that you were trying to maybe find the goal. What do I want? What is a good goal to have, right? And we can look at this reading in that kind of linear way, where you're sort of taking it all in. You may be experimenting, we may be dabbling in a few things, talking to some people and reading some websites and watching some YouTube videos to just try to figure out what we want, right? And then we go Knight of Swords. We make the decision. We say, okay, that's what I want to put my effort into. I've chosen the path now, the path of fire to earth, manifesting, right? This is the goal that I have now. I've made the decision. And then we move forward into the Six of Swords, which is figuring out the plan, you know, which is kind of like, it's almost in a way, we're taking action first. We've made the decision first, and we're taking action now. The plan will come later. You know, maybe we're not waiting until we've outlined the entire system, the entire plan. We're beginning the work now. The plan will unfold in due time. Okay? Because maybe this is a situation that really can't wait. Maybe this is something that, hey, we feel fired up. You know, I've looked around for the solution. I've collected the data, let's say. Right? The Princess of Swords collects the data. We make a decision to start the work. And we're going to restore the balance. We're going to figure the plan out as we move forward. But we don't have to wait for this plan first. Because if we put this back here, we're never going to get started. This process will never happen. Because we're waiting for the plan. We're trying to figure out the exact blueprint first. Okay? And in your case, I feel that the plan, the full outline will come later. What we do now, and we just start working. It's your time to shine. It's your time to just get up and start doing something, doing the work, right? And the plan will unfold. Yeah. So we have the data collection phase that's ending now. This 10 of Pentacles underneath the surface, this is your vision of the ideal outcome. This is what I want. Okay, I've collected the data. It's kind of like with this card. It's you know what kind of life you want. I think you have a lot of knowledge of self, that you know what your goals are generally. Like we have the vision of life. We can see kind of the details of the kind of life I want, who I am, where I am, what I'm doing down the road, right? We can see the structure, right? We can see the furniture in the room. Right? Maybe we don't know the wallpaper and we don't know exactly like what town we're in, but we know what kind of things we want in life, what's going to give our life meaning, what's going to give us the richness of life, right? The meaning, purpose, satisfaction, and fulfillment. We're going to have that vision inside. We know kind of what that is. And then we're able to collect the data to figure out, okay, what are the details of this? How might I go about doing this? Which pathway would I take? What are some things that I can do? We're kind of out there just sort of collecting the data, doing the research. Okay? And then we initiate the plan. We initiate the ideas, right? The Three of Wands at the top is part of this self-knowledge, this gnosis. I think that it is, it's virtue. I think this is a card that says, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know who I am now, and I know what I'm capable of becoming. Right? So it's not just we're trying to find a path or make a decision or take an action now or push back against the universe now, kind of thinking, this is who I am and this is who I'll always be, and I've got to find something that matches me now. Right? This is understanding our potential. This is saying, I know that I can go and do this very difficult thing because I can become the person to match that. Do you know what I mean? It's so you set up goals that are beyond your current capabilities, right? You set up a goal that says, I'm gonna go play professional football, right? And then you have to ask yourself, is that something I've got inside of me? I may not be that person now. Very few people are. I'm not that person now. But do I see that I have the potential to become that person? Is that a virtue that I'm capable of sort of expressing? You know? Because then we're going to do the work to become that. Okay, then we're going to grow. That's going to kickstart growth. And that's what we're doing here. We're kickstarting our own development, our own growth, right? If you pick a challenge in life, or a path, or a task, or a fight, or something, you pick something in life, a goal that is too closely matched with who you already are, there's no growth. There's no challenge to it. There's no need for you to be anybody or do anything different, you know? And in some ways, is that a good thing? Well, yeah, I think that is a good thing. But I feel like right now you're looking for a way to move beyond that. Maybe you're in a situation where you've already sort of harmonized with the path you're on, with the life you're in. And so there's flow, and there's equilibrium, and there's balance, but there's no growth. It's not expanding out from this point, kind of staying still. It's like a business that is doing a certain amount of money every year, and their expenses are always the same, and it's flowing nice. There's this routine. It's this wheel that keeps on turning, and it's good. It's good. But there's no growth. There's no challenge to it. It's become monotonous. It's become mechanical. So we have to ask, okay, well, what am I capable of? You know, it's like you get really, really good at playing like pickup basketball with your friends. Then you think, what's the next step beyond this? Maybe find some friends that are better. Go and get involved in a bigger game. You know, maybe go and play in a league somewhere, or I don't know what, something like this, right? What do you have the potential to do? Maybe it's just like, man, you know, this is as good as I can be at basketball. This is as good as I can be at painting or art or racing cars, I don't know. Or do we have the potential for more? I feel like you're looking for the more. You're looking for the challenge that's going to come by pushing yourself, you know, by identifying a place where, hey, if I go over here, I'm really going to have to make sure that I have the potential so I can put my effort into kickstarting this, and I can grow beyond the current phase that I'm in. Okay. So I like that Three of Wands up there. Because again, we're not looking for a situation that we are equal to. It's like you're going to get a job. You're not going to just make a lateral move. You're not just going to say, I'm just going to do basically the same job I was doing before. Requires the same skill level. Requires the same commitment. Requires the same dedication, the same discipline, and nothing, right? It's just easy. No, you're going after the job that is a little bit above you, a little bit beyond you, right? And you have to ask, am I going to be able to grow into this position? We don't want to wear shoes that are too small, right? So we're kind of like, we're looking for the bigger shoe. And then we're saying, I'm just going to have to grow into it, you know? And to me, that's kind of an expression of personal spiritual development of our skills. Maybe this is something physical, mental, emotional for you. Maybe this is something of a spiritual nature. I think it's probably all of these things combined. I think you're looking at it very logically, very almost intellectually. We're not looking at it emotionally, right? You're being very honest with yourself, with your spiritual discernment, and saying, am I capable of doing this? Is this something that I want to struggle with and fight for? You know, anything worthwhile is a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a push. Okay? You know, maybe this year you're thinking, I want my garden to be a little bit bigger. I want to try growing some different plants. I'm not going to keep just growing the tomatoes every year. I want to do something a little more challenging. I want to expand. I want to grow, you know? And I think that when we're in this kind of an energy dynamic, it's because we've realized that we're just not happy with the mechanical thing. It's been the same way for too long. That's why sometimes I'll change the set. Sometimes I'll do the readings differently. Sometimes I'll try to think of different videos that I can do, different things I could talk about, because I want to keep it moving. I don't want to feel like it's just a routine that I might as well just be sleeping through the readings every day, you know? And I feel like you're the same way. And so I feel like we're realizing, how can I change? How can I push myself? How can I stimulate my own growth? Yeah, and that's what we're doing with these. That's why I like the Seven of Pentacles at the end. This shows that we are intentionally applying our energy to grow in some particular area. Spirit's trying to show you, I think by the absence of water energy, where it is that you should be putting your attention, where you need to grow, where you want to grow, where you need to challenge yourself a little bit more, okay? And we see that the 5 becomes a 6, okay? The 5 becomes a 6. It works. The plan is there. The harmony is there. And maybe the 6 is even the kind of we push, we get involved, things start happening in that sort of harmonious way. Eventually, this is going to become too robotic, too mechanical again. And the 5, the 6, we're going to get the 7 again. And the 7's going to be, okay, this isn't perfect anymore. This has now become a 7, right? The 6 is like that perfect moment when you're going up the roller coaster, right? And you're right at the very top and you're just kind of weightless. It's like that perfect harmony, that perfect moment. But it only lasts for a second, and then the roller coaster goes down. And then all that kind of free fall, right? So this is the perfection and the harmony of life. It does not last. Okay? We make it last. We try to get this moment as many times as we can. And really, it's not even something that exists for anything more than a second. We catch a glimpse of this, and it's automatically a 5 or a 7. It's kind of I'm trying to think of what it is. It's almost like a I don't know, like the old video cameras, or like a lens or something, that it's not just open and taking in all the information, it's flashing. Does that make sense? I don't know the right analogy for that. But it's not something that is actually there. It's kind of like you blink and it's gone, and it's always something that we're trying to maintain this. We're trying to bring it back again. As soon as we glimpse it, it's a 7. Or as soon as then it's a 5. So this is that perfection. This is that state of harmony that we're always trying to push a little bit more to keep it going. It's like there has to be the perfect balance of forces to keep things in this kind of flow and in this harmony. So what it feels like to me is that we're always in this dynamic state of trying to always be pushing ourselves a little bit more, trying to not compete necessarily, but realizing where we need to put in what we need to focus on, where we need to direct our energy, so that we can continue to fulfill our potential in our lives right now. Yeah. So I think the 7 is really an important card. Let's talk about the Path of the Serpent. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The Empress is the care with which we're living our life, and we realize what we put in is what we're going to get out of it. The Empress reminds us of the dynamics of life. It's like Mother Nature, right? Things are born, they grow, they decay and die, and then the cycle continues. Nature is always in flux. Things are always growing and dying in nature, right? Of course, we look at a forest and we think, the beautiful trees, the birds, the sunshine, the flowers, right? Things are dying and decaying under the surface all the time, right? That's the only thing that's nourishing the growth. The beauty that we see, right, is distracting us from all of the shadows and stuff that are underneath and behind that are really supporting this thing. So things are in a constant state of growth. We may sometimes witness an absolutely perfect moment, but it's like a flash. It's like a strobe light that's flashing so quickly we see it as one light, as one consistent light, but really it's flashing, right? That's what I'm trying to get at with this one. And so it's a constant change. this constant growth and evolution. It doesn't have to be competitive. It doesn't have to be stressful necessarily. The Five of Wands is us understanding the energy dynamics. A little bit of stress is good. Too much is, well, bad. Too little is, well, bad, right? So we're trying to engage with life in a way that's appropriate to us. We're all different. The older you get, maybe we slow down a little bit. The younger you are, maybe you're in this kind of striving type of energy still. More is better, right? Challenging myself to the max every day, right? Yeah, the older we get, maybe we slow down a little bit, okay? And maybe we're reaching the point where we're changing what our ideas are about success, about striving, right? We don't want to be caught in that striver's dilemma. The more we strive, the more we achieve, the more we sort of feel the pressure to like keep it going. And then we're just kind of caught in that loop. And then it's like, I can never stop. I can never slow down because then I'm not going to know what to do with myself. So I think we have to understand those energy dynamics. And I think that it really is about the life we're creating. What are we in service to? Why are we striving, right? Maybe this is us asking the why. We know that we're capable of manifesting a potential. You're saying, yeah, I could be the professional football player. I know I got it in me. And so now I just got to do the work and be discerning, have the discipline to make it happen, right? I mean, we got that. Fire to earth. This is your chance. This is your moment to manifest whatever this is. The Empress is making sure you understand why and what it's going to require. This is something that you're going to have to, bleed, sweat, and cry over. Okay? Something that you're going to have to give yourself to. You're in service to this potential, to this work. Okay? And when I say work, I don't just mean your job. I don't just mean what you do for money. I mean, you're the kind of person that always wants to be working on something. Because you understand that energy has to be exchanged with the universe all the time. If we're not exchanging energy with the life around us, are we really even alive, So you're always involved in something, and maybe you're so-called retired. Maybe you're 120 years old, and you don't really want to be busy doing a whole bunch of stuff, but you're doing something. You're working on something. You're paying attention to something, right? Something is challenging you a little bit. And depends on our age and our energy, the state of our energy and the state of our physical energy, what we're really doing and how much effort we have to put into something. But you're someone that always wants to be working. I feel like even when you're 90 years old, you're going to be like, I just started learning Spanish or something, right? Like, it's something, Something, because that's going to keep the system functioning. That's going to keep us always striving for this harmony and realize that we exist in our life. We exist more than ever, more than any other state. We exist in a 5 or a 7. We're either pushing towards something, or we are, or we're sort of we're trying to maintain something. Okay, life is all about trying to get to a 6. I don't care if it's swords or pentacles or fire, wands, whatever it is, cups, it could be. We're trying to always bring things into this perfect harmonious state. Most of the time we spend here, we're trying to push things up this way, or we're trying to pull things back and get them here. Okay. And that's what balance is. And we can kind of think, stand on one foot if you can. Get up, stand on one foot. And you don't just, maybe we stand there and we feel like perfectly balanced for a moment, but most of the time your ankle's going this way and this way and this way and this way to try to maintain that balance. To try to maintain that perfect sweet spot where it's just like you feel like you're floating. And it's kind of that equilibrium is a flash. It doesn't even really happen, maybe for a split second. It's like meditation, too. You're trying to keep your thoughts focused on your breath, right? And you're trying to really concentrate. Well, meditation is not concentration. Concentration is the goal. It is like the final kind of, you did it. The act of meditating is just trying to pull your attention back to what you're concentrating on, right? Because if you do it, even for a second, enlightenment, right? And so it's always just the struggle, but that's how we're growing. That's how we're developing ourselves. by struggling and striving in meditation. If meditation were easy, we would have already made it. We wouldn't need to meditate. We would just already be that bliss, you know? And so it's always pulling something back or pushing something forward and trying to maintain that. It's like you're on the tightrope and you got that balance bar, and it's always just little corrections to try to maintain that. And I feel like that's where we exist most of the time as human beings. And of course, your higher discernment is what is maintaining the balance. Okay, and that balance of effort, that balance of, you know, what do I really want to do in my life? How much should I be striving, and how much do I need to just kind of let things be the way they are? Okay, so again, as the beginning, we're sort of picking our battles, right? You've got the lust card or the strength card in the environment. I feel like you have a vitality and a robustness about you that makes me feel like you're very young, but I kind of feel like you're probably my age or older. So, you know, you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s maybe. And but I feel that there is a youthful vibrance in you. I think it's because you always have that courage to do something, to try something, to create something. And maybe when you're 90 years old, you're finally going to take up kayaking, right? You're finally going to start scuba diving, or you're finally going to try to learn Spanish. And it's like, you're never too old. It's never too late to develop some part of us, you know? It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to climb Mount Everest now. I'm 90 years old. I'm finally going to start mountain climbing. Well, maybe not, right? But it's something. And doing that is what is keeping this vital energy going, okay? And I think right now is one of those moments where you are realizing what your potential is and what you want to work on to develop yourself a little bit, you know? The Eon card, the judgment, rebirth, reawakening, the baptism by fire, we're going through that doorway, which is basically a decision. A commit. We've done the research, right? We know the potential. We know kind of what we could, what the goals could be. And I think that executing this plan is executing this decision. Let's say, is us going through this doorway. This is a divine doorway of change. We're purposely putting ourselves in a challenging situation. Why would we do that? I just want ease. I just want a permanent vacation, right? I think that would be the worst thing in the world. I think to have resources, to be in an environment that you like, of course, you know, like on vacation. But when you're on vacation, what do? You're seeing the world with different eyes. You're learning, you're growing, you're developing, you're changing. You're doing things that you maybe didn't do. I went on a vacation, I did zip lining. You know, I've never done that before. It's something new. Right. Let's do a divine doorway affirmation card for our Eon card. A note on love. Seek different seasons and enter into the unknown. When love is the focus, foundation, and goal, blessed is the body, mind, and soul. When love is the focus. Love being the focus, right? Are we focused on love? Is that what we're striving for? Are we striving for a more emotionally balanced and harmonious experience of life? We have the Six of Swords. Where's the Six of Cups? Right? So maybe this doorway here, you're taking a chance, you're entering into the unknown, and you're kind of you're wanting to challenge, you're wanting to try something new, to do something different, to develop yourself, to see how far you can go with a particular potential that you feel is inside of you. Yeah. And that involves us facing the Seven of Pentacles, the challenge, the weakness, the sore spots, the buttons, the failures, right? Where have I not developed myself very much? Well, maybe I'm not very good at, I'm not very good at running, you know. Maybe that's what I got to do. Maybe that would be good for me. I don't want to just keep doing the things I'm already good at, because that is going to lose its kind of appeal, right? So the Seven of Pentacles is you finding something that you're not good at and doing it and being okay with not being good at it, because you know that you have the potential to be good at it. It's like archery, you know, it's never done that before. I feel like I'd be good at it. You know, we took our daughter, she's 5, she's doing horse riding lessons with a friend. We're lucky enough to know somebody that's got a horse. They have a little farm. And anyway, so she was on a riding lesson yesterday, and she's doing really well, and she's really learning how to handle the horse. And I was just kind of looking. I've never been on a horse before. I've been on a camel, been on an elephant, never been on a horse. But I was watching her ride. I'm thinking, gosh, I'd be good at that. You know, I'd be good at that. It's never too late to try something new. And I'm sure when I first start, I'll be terrible at it. I don't know what I'm doing. You got to settle into the saddle, you know. But we're finding something that we haven't done before, something that maybe we're not currently good at. I'm not currently a good horse rider, but I feel like I could be pretty good. I probably won't be the best in the world, won't be winning any races or anything, but I feel like I could be good, and I feel like I would enjoy it. Now, maybe the absence of the water energy is that we want to find something that not only is it going to challenge us and allow us to develop an undeveloped part of us, but it's going to feel good to do that. I want to see the mystery card to be some water energy. When you find something that you're not good at currently and you feel like you could be good at it, it feels really good to try. And maybe this is going to be the Fool, maybe it'll be the 6 of Cups, 3 of Cups, maybe even a 5 of Cups. Finding something that I may be terrible at it, but I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it, you know? And I feel like I could be pretty good at it. So let's see what we have. 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is our reluctance to change. We're not allowing ourselves to be altered. This is a routine. This is the mechanical life. Okay? And this is what we want to get out of. Anytime we get a 4, right, we start looking for the 5. We're saying, okay, life's become too routine, too habitual, too mechanical. There's no growth here. Got to shake it up. Got to change it up. Do something new. Go try to learn Spanish. Go take a horse riding lesson. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to cost money or much money, right? Things we can do for little to no money. We can try to learn a new language or a new skill or learn about a new subject, right? Maybe you're going to start studying like world history or something, right? It is the realization that stagnation is death, right? And growth and evolution and expansion is life, right? Transcending our own borders and boundaries, pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone a little bit in some place. Maybe, I don't know the first thing about Spanish, but hey, I'm going to try. I'm going to learn. And I may be foolish at first, but it'll be fun, you know? And anybody that tries to learn a second language probably ends up feeling a little dorky at first, right? It just doesn't sound right. I feel kind of embarrassed. I feel like people are kind of looking at me like I'm a fool. But that's okay. But we have to be willing to get out of this routine, habitual, mechanical life. We take the 3, recognize the 4, 5, 6 to the 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? So I like that we have this kind of linear thing. You have to believe that you're capable of doing it. You have to realize that, you know, you got to let yourself do it. You got to get out of your comfort zone if you want to do it. So that's going to require 5. It's going to require change, attention. It's going to require some sort of exertion of energy. And then it may require a plan, a structure. We kind of are, if we like it, we're going to rearrange our life a little bit so we can keep doing it more. We're going to set up a little a pathway, you know, toward further development. Okay, and we know that we're going to go through, and we're kickstarting growth, adaptability, change. We're rewiring our brains and nervous system, and we're growing, and we're becoming more alive. Okay, and this I think it kind of extends life for us. Yeah. I love this reading. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Taurus on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you want to watch the extended readings on the website. Go to doveandserpenttarot.com. You can also find me on Patreon. Okay? Check out my wife's channel. She does Ula tea leaf readings. She does tea leaf readings for every zodiac sign. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.